Welcome everybody back to A&M in the AM, episode 9. And when this video is going up, it's going to be July 1st, the start of, I want to say, the new year. I think it's going to be...
I was going to say it's Christmas morning.
No.
well, it's Christmas Eve
as
of right now. But
So we got done with the first half of the year, the first 6 months. This is the second 6 months. This is a whole new year. And it's starting off good. We're starting off with baseball coming back. We're having the only sport we thought was not coming back. Baseball is the first.
They come back first.
Yeah, the first of the 4 major sports. Baseball, they're starting training camp. They're just going to be, I think, just running with their 60-man rosters or however many people they have on their rosters currently. And they're just going to be running through training camp up until the 23rd and 24th, which is going to be opening days. And I know we talked about it a little bit on Monday, but a lot more teams have released their rosters, and I know the Tigers just signed Torkelson.
Finally.
So I assume he's going to be added to the roster.
Yes,
soon,
I would think so. I'm sure that part of the contract was adding him to it.
Mm-hmm. And I wanted to talk about one thing. I have 4 teams that I really am gonna like to watch play in this shortened season.
Okay.
Number 1, the Dodgers.
Of course.
No, just for the fact of it was said I saw a tweet, I think we put it in our group chat, that a lot of coaches and players are saying this is like a last dance for the Dodgers because this is going to be the hardest chance of getting to the World Series, and that everything could fall apart after this year.
And they're old and about to start having to fork some money out.
Yeah. So this is going to be the hardest chance they have to getting to the World Series. So for that. The Rays, they're a young team. They have a potential. They could easily make it to the playoffs and easily squeeze to the World Series somehow.
They're my underdog.
The Yankees, because of injury issues. I want to see what they're able to do with their $500 million man.
They're saying that they're all set. I got a notification today. They're all coming back. They're all feeling okay. I mean,
I'm interested to see, and also how Judge and Stanton do, because they are strikeout machines. So I want to see if that's gonna affect how.
But I don't want to see them be successful and everybody be like, we're successful. We don't need trash cans, even though we cheated first.
So I'm interested to see them, and then my 4th team, obviously the Detroit Tigers, because by the looks of it, we're bringing up our top 10 prospects,
except for Paredes. GG.
Yeah, did you see anything? I knew you brought that up on Monday, quietly, but did you say anything more about it?
No, they're not letting my man in. I mean it's probably
really,
until they get a spot.
I was going to say, is there really room for him when you look at the roster?
And they have so many infielders as it is, and
yeah.
I think that it'll be like a mid-season thing. People are already thinking that Candelario or Lugo will be cut halfway through to make room for Willie Castro. So I think at that point you can add Paredes too, or you could just have him. I mean, I'm sure he's going to be in Toledo with the other guys anyway, but...
Oh, without a doubt. I did see that the trade deadline is August 31st. So I'm actually... That's
the normal one anyway.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're having a trade deadline. No, the trade deadline usually end of July.
For yes, that's the original one, but then it's normally the waiver one.
Oh, the waiver one, okay.
Yeah, and now they weren't planning on having a waiver one anyway this year. So it's going to be just going to
be like an NFL and NBA type just straight up.
Yeah, they made it. People were pushing for it to be called the Justin Verlander rule.
Why is that?
Because I don't know why it's a bad thing, but they didn't want players to be traded, held on to at the trade deadline and then traded in August on the waivers, because they can make such a big difference to a playoff team as Justin did for the Astros to win the World Series. So they don't want that happening, which I don't know why, because it just makes the team even better. But I don't know if they're just saying you're using the player for your own good. But
yeah. Another thing I saw is that there's 60 games. There's going to be 40 divisional or conference games, or I think it's divisional.
Division, yeah.
And then 20 interdivisional
you play your normal division opponents 10 games each. No. Yeah, you play 5 home, 5 on the road against your normal division opponents, and then your interleague division opponents you play 2 games, 1 home, 1 away.
So would that be So are they doing the 3 divisions or the 3?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Tigers would play all the AL Central, and then our our inner league would be, or
It's the Pirates and
yeah,
Reds.
it would be like the other teams. Okay.
Because it's five home against the Twins, 5 on the road, 5 home against the White Sox, 5 on the road, 5 home against the Royals, 5 on the road,
Okay.
5 home against the Indians, 5 on the road, 1 at home against the Reds, 1 on the road, and 1 at home against. I want to say it's the Pirates and 1 on the road. I know the other one's the Reds for sure though.
And then the Cubs probably, and
Yeah, it's somebody else.
well, it'd have to be.
I think it's almost all of them.
Yeah, it would be all the NL Central teams.
Yeah.
And then I think the Braves are in ours.
They're in the East.
Oh, they're in the East now. Okay. Well, I knew we were debating about that because we didn't know for sure. But so the Tigers would play all the AL Central 10 times, and then all the NL Central 20 times. So yeah, right. Basically.
Yeah.
Because there would be
almost.
5 other teams. They play them 2 times.
Yeah, it's something like yeah.
No, they would have to
close to
play them
that.
at least 3 times. Wait, I'm very confused here. Or would they would have to play them 4 times if there's 5. If there's 5 teams in the AL or NL Central, they would have to play them 4 times each because 4 times 5 is 20. That would leave 20 extra games. You checking it out?
Yeah, it's something like that.
I think it has to be something like that because that's the only logical mathematic equation there.
You will have 40 against your normal division, like I was saying.
Okay.
Or 10 against each division. Okay. Yeah, you play, like I said, 10 games against your normal division
All right.
teams. And then the rest are against the inner league. So it'd be 20 against them.
So are they just playing
Somehow.
division in their 1/3 of their division? Are they not like going to the to the East or the West? Are they not playing those teams? Are they?
No,
just
they're only
Central
playing.
teams?
Yeah, the Central's only
Okay.
playing the Central, East only playing the East, and West only playing the West.
See, that's gonna be really interesting come playoff time. Because
That's what I'm saying.
You're
Like,
not gonna see.
yeah, that's what I had sent you, so I didn't forget. Actually, I would have forgotten until you said that. I had sent that to you, so that way I could remember to bring it up. That come playoff time, some teams would have already played each other in interleague games or seen each other or whatever.
Yeah.
Now you'll be playing all at the same times. You won't be traveling to the other team, so you'll come up against somebody in the playoffs. And I mean, I know you do scouting and stuff, but
Yeah.
almost have no idea what's going on with them that year.
And it's gonna be hard because I guarantee like scouts that normally go to games aren't gonna be able to go to games, and they're only gonna be able to watch on TV
Mm-hmm.
and film. So it's gonna be a really interesting dynamic when it comes to playoff time because they're doing normal type playoffs, right? Like AL is gonna be on one side, NL is gonna be on one
I
side.
think I haven't looked into that, but I would think it would be.
I would
the same.
hope they would do that. That would be kind of.
Because they're still doing the seeding and stuff.
I think
and,
they're doing expanded too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Okay.
with expanded, I think they would keep it the same.
So it's gonna be really different because say White Sox make it and then they go up against the Yankees. They haven't seen them all year, and that's gonna be like.
Because
That
normally
could
it would,
screw over the Yankees and
even-
benefit the White Sox. Then.
even with the seeding, it would normally be like you would have played that team for at least a series during the regular season.
you would at
have
least play
seen
them
a
one
few games.
time, and then when it comes to World Series, it's gonna be all so. I mean, unless 2 Central teams come up against each other, or 2 East teams, or 2 West teams.
Yeah, I would. That is kind of weird. If they do separate them still, and then they end up like on opposite sides, because then what does it really matter?
Yeah.
Because if you're a National League team, you've been playing American League teams all year, and then you come to a National League team, and now you're grouped together with them again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I gotta see that.
That's why it's kind of weird, and it's a different situation, I think.
Yeah, I didn't thought about that until now.
But I think I want to say also I said the Tigers were my last team, but Toronto I feel like is gonna be an interesting team because I feel like they're bringing up some of their young guys.
Maybe in a normal East, I still doubt that they have the pitching for it. But in a normal AL East, I don't know if they compete anyway. But with a combined East, the East, holy moly, I don't see it. A combined East, you're adding the Mets, the Braves,
The Mets. Or are you talking about pitching wise?
Just a team in general. The Mets
Yeah.
are better than them. The Braves are way better than them.
I guess you're right there.
And you're adding the World Series champions to them, while also still having the Yankees and Rays.
I totally forgot the Nationals are in the East.
Yeah, so it's gonna be tough. It was gonna be tough either way, but it's gonna be even tougher.
Yeah. I mean, I totally forgot how good the NL East is.
Yeah,
They're a
they're
good
always real
division.
tight. They always have the wild card teams.
Yeah,
because they're always so tight.
they're a good division.
I mean, the West is still going to be decent, but I feel like it's still going to be.
I feel like the biggest rivalry of this whole thing, Dodgers versus Astros.
That's what I was about to say. I was going to say you still have the Dodgers Astros going 1-2 in their division. I mean, they'll be seeing each other.
4 times at least.
Things are going to happen.
Oh, there's gonna be
tension's going to be there.
See, it's gonna be awkward because there's gonna be tension, but there's gonna be no fans.
I was going to say there's no fans like
to hype it up.
Yeah, that'll be weird, but I mean they'll still be playing against
because
each other.
like say
they'll still run away with it. They'll be the 1 and 2 teams.
Say like Kershaw throws at Altuve's knees. Who's gonna start hyping him up? Nobody.
No,
it's just gonna be like
you'll be able to whisper out to Kershaw and he'll hear you.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be interesting. I think that's all for baseball, though. I mean, a really, really exciting day, though.
I just hope everything's on TV that they're doing right now.
I don't think it's gonna. I haven't heard anything yet.
Because it would make the TV stations so much. I mean, pretty good amount of money if you can set up like how the Tigers are doing. If you can set up cameras in Detroit for right now to watch what they're doing, and then when they split, and you can set them up in Toledo too. Like say the Tigers aren't playing that day. Well, I guess they would be playing almost every day, but like. Or if they get them on a different channel or a different time or whatever.
See, I think what they're doing, I feel not what they're doing. I feel like what they're going to do is they're going to have like the game broadcasters or like news broadcasters at least for July 1st. Just for the first day. They're going to have them there. And we're going to be able to see how it unfolds and how it looks.
Because I'd like to see some like inter squad games that they'll be playing against each other and other things. But
you can straight up do inter squad games, split them up 30-30.
But like they'll be doing it in Toledo too, so like it'd be cool to see those guys play against each other.
Yeah.
Especially with the young ones. And then like say like the Tigers are playing a doubleheader, you got like an hour time slot in between, you throw up whatever was happening in Toledo that day.
Yeah.
In between the games.
So basically what you're saying is going to do is that there's going to be games in Detroit but practicing in Toledo.
Yeah, after they break when the season starts, they'll have because I don't think they're not bringing all 60, so they have 40 in Detroit and the other 20 are going to be in Toledo. That's going to be the taxi squad.
Okay.
And they'll be practicing and doing whatever together while they're going up and down.
Do you think Torkelson makes the 40? Or do you think he sits on practice or taxi?
He should make it, but I think they'll put him taxi, so that way he can get all the work in Toledo, and because he won't be having
he gets the practice down there in Toledo, and he's getting the consistent like.
And if he takes off, I feel like if they make a trade or something, he'll make the spot, especially if like.
You really think Tigers make a trade this year? Who are they gonna trade? C.J. Cron?
Yeah, I was gonna say or Scope or somebody like they probably planned on in the first place, but like if you put Torkelson in Toledo, he's not splitting time with Miguel and Cron. And even Candelario at first base.
Well, I mean, Miguel's going to, not like it mattered, but Miguel's going to thrive because he's just a DH now again.
Yeah, and he's going to have some of the best protection he's had in years in the lineup.
Yeah.
I mean, he hasn't had that great of protection since Prince and Victor Martinez. I mean, you can say whatever you want about Scope and Cron, but they aren't bad protection.
No, Scope and Cron are going to be 3-4. Miguel's going to be 5.
No, Miguel will be a third. He's been third his whole career.
You think?
Yeah. I still put Miguel third. I mean, I think it's going to go whoever wins the starting center field spot, I think it's going to be Jacoby Jones.
And he's going to be first?
Yeah, I would say he's still going to lead off, and then I'd put Nico at second, and then Miguel. That's actually good. Like, Nico's going to get some good pitches to hit, too.
Yeah.
Because if you have Nico and then you have Miguel right after him, and then you got Cron after him, and then Scope. And then heck, Candelario if he's hitting the ball.
I always forget about Candelario.
Like they won't be terrible.
They won't, not at all. And then you have.
I mean, sure, it's not the scariest middle of the order, but they can get things done.
You have Cameron Maybin at the end of that lineup.
Yeah, he'll be probably batting ninth. I mean, he's used to it. He's there for that.
But I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, it could low key make some noise.
I mean. I mean, if they can just get the pitching down, if they can bring up the right guys, throw the ball. That's why I've been saying, like, it's not outlandish to say maybe they can compete, float around 500.
Yeah. We could. I just thought 500 was a bit iffy with how the
Sure, with the
Central-
opponents, yeah.
with how the Central is.
NL Central is always the tightest. I mean, I know I said the East are too, but the Central always has the most talent
Yeah.
and such, and they're always real close.
I mean, I feel like you gotta worry just about the White Sox in the Central and the Twins now.
Well, yeah, in the normal Central, in the
Yeah.
normal American League Central, that would how it would be. But like you're adding the Cardinals to it, you're adding the Brewers to it.
But think about it, you're only playing those 20.
a few games, yeah.
20 times. So, I mean,
Yeah, you only because like you'll split the games with the Royals and Indians. At least you should.
yeah.
You should probably almost win 8 of the 10 games against the Royals.
Yeah, I
and
was
then
gonna say
you'll split with the
I
Indians.
hope we almost sweep the Royals. They're not a good team whatsoever. We're better. We have better talent.
And that's why I don't get why people are saying the Tigers are gonna be flirting with the top 3 pick, because you have the Orioles are gonna get demolished in the East. They'll win 10 games maybe, if that. If a team doesn't show up and
I say
they just let them have a
15.
game,
I say 15 games.
they would have gotten rocked in a 60-game season against the AL East in general. Now you're adding the NL East.
You're
It-
right.
Tough sailing for them.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, especially with the NL East pitching.
Yeah, if they can
Jesus
steal some, maybe,
Christ.
but I doubt they get very many.
They're gonna have the Nationals pitching, the Mets pitching, the Yankees pitching,
The Rays.
the Rays pitching, even the Braves pitching.
Heck, even the Marlins will get them out.
Jeez, I feel bad for the Warriors.
That's what I'm saying.
I
They-
feel bad
like,
for
they
the
already
Orioles.
have Kumar Rocker at this point. Like, that's why I don't get why people are saying Tigers are going to tank again. They aren't getting less than 10 wins like the Orioles.
I really feel bad for the Orioles there. That's a horrible.
They are
situation.
taking a beating.
I think that's all we got for baseball, though. You got anything else to say up about that?
No.
I mean, we'll talk about more. So obviously, we'll be almost 3 days in when we do our next Bud podcast. So we'll talk about how the first day went and everything of that sorts. Now, something that came out on Monday, I believe, right? Monday afternoon.
Out of absolutely nowhere.
I remember I was sitting on a boat and
Apparently there were rumblings the night before, though.
So-
I didn't see it. But
no, so my friend was like, he said, Peyton just said Emoni Bates committed to Michigan. I was like, what? I was like, Peyton's dumb. I was like, Emoni Bates is not committed to Michigan. He's a junior. Or Michigan State, sorry. And I was like, he did not commit to Michigan State. And then I was like, let me pull this up. And I was like looking, and I looked at our Twitter group chat. And I was
yeah,
like,
I didn't see it until Twitter.
no, I looked at our Twitter group chat. I was like, Emoni Bates just committed to Michigan State as a junior. I was dumbfounded. Like,
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see the stuff about it the night before. Like, I did see like them photoshopping, because Michigan and Michigan State Twitter is weird right now.
yeah.
I don't know if
I
you've
feel like
seen
they
it.
always fight anyway.
They've been really weird lately about, they have these people photoshopping Michigan players of all sports
yeah.
into Michigan State uniforms. Michigan State people are doing Michigan State players into Michigan uniforms for whatever reason. I don't know. I saw a Mo Wagner in a Michigan State. I saw a Jordan Poole in a Michigan State. I saw Harbaugh in a Michigan State. I saw D'Antoni in Michigan. It was very awkward. I don't know what they're doing right now, but it's still going on. Like, as of right now, they're taking turns doing it. It's weird,
But
but
is it like a game? Like, are they, or is it like being like spiteful back to each other?
I don't know. I mean, it's brothers going back at it, obviously,
Yeah.
but like, it's weird. And like, so the night before I had seen, because they had been like jokingly saying, oh, Imani's 100% to Michigan State. That means he's going to Arizona State.
Mm-hmm.
So I had seen him photoshopped into a Michigan State jersey, and then a Michigan one, and then an Arizona State one.
I did see the Arizona State one.
And so that was like the night before, and I was like, okay, whatever. I was like, people are talking about him all the time, and then
Yeah.
that just happens the next day. I'm like, what the heck? And I didn't even see it until Twitter, and then I got an ESPN notification shortly after. Like, I was staring at that tweet to make sure it wasn't the fake Sports Center or ESPN, whatever, that had tweeted it.
So then I saw the tweet and I was scrolling through, and then I saw the like a blip it from like an article that had been like written right away, and it said Also, with him coming to Michigan State, he will be leaving Ypsilanti Lincoln High School to attend his father's new prep school that he is starting. And I said, what? I said his father is starting a prep school out of nowhere.
Everybody had always said he's gonna leave Ypsi Lincoln. I was like, nah. I was like, he's got it too good there. Everybody knows about him there. Why would he ever leave? He's the number one in the country, so he doesn't have to prove it against competition. Like, but then out of nowhere, I was like, huh? Like, how did nobody know a single thing about it?
I don't know. They definitely kept that under wraps, and I feel like we don't have to get into it right now, but I feel like there's some other things that are being kept under wraps about this whole situation.
It's going to keep coming out more and more.
And I low-key, I hope not all of them are true, because it will kind of mess up his career.
Yeah, I want to say how we mentioned a few episodes ago on our A&M when we had talked about him briefly.
Mm-hmm.
And I had said, I am rooting for him. I'm rooting for him no matter where he goes.
Yeah.
Except for when he plays against Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's if he does stay in college.
Yeah.
But I just hope, for the love of everything, I hope he does not take money. I had said that on an episode. I said, I just hope he doesn't take money from anywhere, plays it out. He doesn't need it. He's going to be the number one. He's got all the hype. Just wait.
And see.
And now this happens out of nowhere. He's got a school. He's got a roster. He's got uniforms from Nike.
Yeah,
he's got everything. He's got Michigan State just popping up out of nowhere. He's going there.
I was gonna say, we already know Nike gave them money, so that's one.
Which, I mean, yeah,
which is not. They gave them money obviously to start the school and for uniforms. So
and they're funding from
him.
there, which that's not a problem.
Yeah,
because his travel team was already sponsored by Nike.
Yeah.
Nike had reached out personally to them to sponsor them. That's not a big thing, but like, just out of nowhere, you're starting your own school that absolutely nobody knew about.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't hear a word about it. You've got a whole roster already. Didn't hear about that.
Yeah, the fact is they're having their first practice on Monday when all this broke.
Yeah, they had a gym already rented and everything, which, by the way, I think that I had said this before, I think that they're going to play their home games at Eastern Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Because
didn't you say Ypsi was already going to play?
Well, yeah, Lincoln was already playing some games there, and they're already planning to play more throughout the rest of his time there.
I mean, they're going to have to.
Because they were going to have a lot of people there,
I would say when we went to their couple games, it was
straight standing room only.
Yeah.
And
except when we got courtside tickets.
Yes, we're in the back of some of the highlight videos.
Yeah,
it's actually good.
We went to the first game they played there.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian played there, and we got behind the basket courtside tickets.
Mm-hmm. And when he had jumped over the camera people and was standing right in front of me about that high. I looked up. I was like, "Yo, what?" But nobody knew a thing about any of it. Is just what I'm wondering. Like, his dad, I told my dad, I was like, at least you got to give his dad credit. This man's been sane this entire time.
Mm-hmm.
He hasn't pushed for Emoni to do anything. Like like when he was in Sports Illustrated.
Yeah.
It explained perfectly what his dad has been doing, and like he's letting Emoni do his own thing. Like, I told my dad, I was like, at least he's doing it the right way. I mean, like, I'm a big LeVar Ball fan, but he's doing it way better than LeVar.
See, that's what I wanted to say here. LeVar, great.
Or, I mean, not big anymore. I used to be a big fan.
LeVar is a great businessman. Say what you want about him. He did things he didn't even think he could do, I think. I don't want Imani's dad to turn into LeVar.
Which I don't think he is.
I don't want him to start this school and then be like, oh, I can get all these prospects here. I got the best player in the world. Oh,
he's down to earth.
Oh, and I don't want him to turn in. I don't want him to go crazy that he has Emoni.
That's what I don't think he will. He seems like he's perfectly down to earth. He knows what he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, this school's a little overboard kind of maybe, but I mean, like, he said on ESPN that he wanted Emoni to play with like-minded guys, to wanted to go to school with like-minded people, but like help push him further. But like, some people think that this school is only until he graduates, and then it'll be over.
It definitely is.
And it's designed to be a direct pipeline to Michigan State for Izzo. They think Izzo's part of it, where
I guarantee
it's a pipeline just straight to Michigan State following Emoni.
I guarantee it comes out after it ended that Michigan State was funding it.
Oh yeah, because I mean I don't want to say. I was already getting hate on Twitter for it. I don't want to say it's directly from Izzo, but like it's kind of like a last ditch effort for him because people had already said whatever. I mean, they were ninth place in the Big Ten, but he sees what Juwan has done at Michigan in 1 year. And there was already talks about Izzo possibly retiring within the next few years after his son left and stuff. I feel like it's a last ditch effort. You tell Emoni at least verbally commit, and you can get other people to come in just by Emoni verbally committing.
Yeah.
Emoni doesn't have to go there, but I mean, if it's a last ditch thing before Izzo leaves or him giving like a last one big run, I could see that. But like,
because I have two things here. With Emoni, with what you said, with Emoni saying yes, that creates stirring, like, oh, Michigan State's a good program.
Yeah, they're trying to put them back on the map.
Emoni must have liked what he saw. They're committed because Emoni even said they've been following me since I've been in eighth grade. They've stayed committed. They always keep in contact with me, stuff like that. But also what I want to say, I'm not hating on Michigan State.
Yeah,
they're a good program.
I wasn't trying to do that either.
Yeah, I know. They're a good program. They obviously bring in top prospects. They have really good players in the NBA. But the fact is, for someone for the highest regarded basketball player since LeBron James to commit in his going into his junior
at 16 years old
is insane. You didn't even the number one prospect of last year. Who was it? Jalen Green, right? He didn't even say his thing until the last possible day.
I mean, I get it. A lot of these guys go to like small schools to be by themselves. Like, I think it is Jalen Green. That's the number one, and that was the number one coming out of high school. Going to Oklahoma State, like that's so random. But like,
kind of like Cade Cunningham, he was going to Oklahoma State too.
Yeah.
But
I think that's who I'm talking about.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham. He's the number one coming into this year.
And he's still going there.
No, he decommitted there because of all the allegations.
Okay, then somebody's top is still going there. And like, I get that they do that, but it's just kind of weird. Like I had heard that apparently, Imani's dad had actually known Juwan when Juwan was at Michigan, which I had the impression that his family has always been Michigan State fans. I don't know if that's true or not. I think they had been.
I think he's always been a Michigan
But
State
apparently
fan.
They're saying that if given another year or two of talking or in-person meeting, they think Juwan could have swayed Emoni to Michigan.
You think he still can?
No.
No, not anymore.
No. And they think that his dad would have let him because his dad was just going to let him go wherever he wanted.
Yeah.
And that with him already having a friendship with his dad and liking him, they thought that if Emoni was going to go to college, he could talk him into it. But with Juwan barely even having a year to talk to him and kind of being in the running, but not at the same time because it was only his Michigan State or NBA, which is still going to be just NBA.
Yeah, I was going to say a lot of NBA players has come out, especially with the news. And they were like, that man's never touching foot on that campus.
And they're saying Emoni doesn't want to go G League. That's fine, but
I think by then they'll have the rule because I don't know. They've been so back and forth about the one and done rule that if they're abandoning it or not. And by the time he graduates, I think it should be gone as long as
I think so too, because they'll have Bronny the next year after.
Yeah,
and it'll just be perfect for the NBA, but. I mean, if he doesn't want to go G League, that's fine. But like I was saying, G League just started and became a thing where they're playing guys. Like somebody had said, I don't want to keep comparing it to Michigan stuff, but that's all I've seen on Twitter. Somebody said 250,000 was enough to get Isaiah Todd to decommit after committing over a year ago. To decommit to go to the G League, 250 was enough.
Yeah.
So you're telling me something has to be going on if he stays in college. Emoni. But like this is basically the first year of the G League being a big thing where guys are going there.
Yeah, I think
you have 2 more years to get top talent and whatever. I don't see why he would say no.
And the thing is, once the NBA gets them into their G League, they can profit off of them. They can put them in 2K. They can do stuff like that. They can use their name. They can use their likeness. They can do all that stuff.
And they get the money.
They can profit off these top prospects, and then they can hype them up again once they're done with their rookie year in the G League. So.
And before they get into the draft, either way he's going to be the number one pick.
See,
if staying healthy.
I think I think them doing the G League, I think I said it in one of our A&Ms or even the Buds, that doing the G League was one of the smartest things the NBA has done because they can these guys can be hyped up going into the G League. During that whole season, they can be hyped up because these games will be broadcasted consistently. And then they'll be hyped up again going into the draft.
Which it'll hurt the NCAA, but in a way it'll kind of help them because like these 3-star, 2-star, and 3-star that are like bubble guys that could be like second round picks that amount to something, like a Kyle Kuzma or something, even though he was like late first. Mm-hmm. They'll go to these big programs now and they'll make a name for themselves.
Another thing I thought,
while the other guys are playing against each other in the G League.
Another thing I saw about the NCAA, which we don't have to go into today because I don't want to rant about it, is that you could see in the next year or two the NCAA not being a thing anymore. Because especially with the whole football situation and now with basically, I mean, it's not a secret anymore that every college basketball team pays players and football.
Majority, yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like you're saying you're a nonprofit organization when you're paying players millions and millions of dollars to come and play for you, like for 1 year. So I don't know. That's where I feel like the NCAA is gonna fall apart. Is right there.
You know who can't pay millions and millions to fix themselves?
Oh.
The city of Detroit sports.
I mean, we're gonna need Miggy's contract for that if we want it. But
I mean, I don't even think that fixes them, to be honest with you.
But so I addressed this at the end of the Buds podcast on Monday.
And you were so passionate about it that we wanted to talk about it.
Detroit sports, I don't want to say it's cursed, but we're cursed. First of all, I said this on the Buds podcast. I'll say it again. So on, I believe it was Saturday was the NHL draft lottery. And Detroit had 17 wins. They played 71 games this year. They got the 4th overall pick. The number 1 overall pick went to a team that is yet to be determined because it's coming from the playoffs play-in tournament. How are you going to tell me that a 17-win team is going to get the 4th overall pick and you're going to give the number 1 overall pick to the generational type player that apparently is coming out of this? I still don't even know who it is because I'm not a hockey fan.
I was going to say, just wanted to put out there, don't watch hockey. It's just because there's nothing going on, so you've gotten passionately mad about this.
Yeah, I still have no idea who this kid is, but he's apparently a generational type Wayne Gretzky type player. And you're going to give that guy to a playoff team that was fighting for a playoff berth? If I was one of those teams, I would purposely lose. Like, there's no point.
Oh, yeah. Just let the other teams go crazy.
This just goes on to the fact of, over the past years, Detroit, the Lions, my Lions, have been screwed over and over and over and over and over again. It started with Dallas
they're just bad, dog.
It started with Dallas versus the Lions when Brandon Pettigrew was face guarded in the playoffs on a drive that we should have won.
It wasn't a flag.
Yes, it was. He was easily face guarded. It was seen. Everybody seen it. Oh my God.
Go Cowboys.
And then it just continues. Like with last year, the refs just do not like us. If you look at the Kansas City game, we were screwed over. You look at the Green Bay game, we were screwed over. Even Green Bay's offensive lineman was like, what do you mean? He went up to the ref after the play and said, I put my hands in the defensive face. And the ref said, get on my face. He put his hands in your face. I was like, what? The lineman just admitted that he committed a foul and you're still calling it on Detroit? I was like, they're so self-absorbed that they think they have to be right no matter what when they make a wrong call. It's just so frustrating, me and Detroit fan. And then you go to the Pistons that haven't been relevant since 2012 because they can't draft worth shit because they get a 5th overall pick and they take some random guy from a mid-level college team and then decide not to progress him and trade him 2 years later.
Okay, I want to say, I think you're fuming because it actually started in 2003 with Carmelo.
Yeah, it started there. But I'm saying like because we were still making the playoffs around
And then-
2012 when we were a decent seed.
And then you take Stanley Johnson. I believe that's when they passed up Devin Booker.
They passed up like 12 people. They passed up like 100 people each year.
I also think around that time was Giannis, but absolutely nobody knew who Giannis is. But there was other guys you could take over Giannis. And then you pass up Donovan Mitchell for Kennard, I think.
Probably. Yeah, he probably was.
And there's somebody else in there. Pass up Trey Burke. I think that was for Stanley Johnson, I think.
I mean, Trey Burke he hasn't really progressed in the NBA, though.
Yeah, but
he's progressed as far as Stanley.
He's the... Whoa.
I'll throw that on there.
I mean, he was projected to get drafted by the Pistons. Oops.
I do remember
and if he would have stayed in state, I think he would have had the crowd behind him. I think he would have done better than he has. He's a solid bench guy.
Yeah, no, he's a solid. I think they didn't take him though because that's when we had like Brandon Knight, Reggie Jackson. We still had decent point guards there.
I want to know, when was his actual draft? 2015?
Yeah, we would have had Reggie Jackson there around
2013.
That would have been Brandon Knight, I think.
So when was Stanley Johnson taken?
2014 maybe. I don't know for sure. Let me see. I think it was recently. It was like 2015, 2014.
So the Pistons took KCP over Trey Burke. So I guess
that was the decent pick at the time.
But also, if you look after Trey, there was CJ McCollum, the next pick.
But again, nobody really thought about CJ.
Kind of. That was okay. Then that was the Giannis draft too.
Okay.
He was 15.
That's crazy to think that Giannis and KCP were in the same draft.
Tim Hardaway was also in that draft. I forgot that's when they both left Michigan at the same time. That's okay passing on him, I guess, maybe. But then you got Rudy Gobert down there at 27. I mean, say what you want, he's a good center.
They already had Drummond, so they weren't taking
Yeah. I didn't know Glenn Rice. Is this a Glenn Rice Jr.? I didn't know that was a thing. It might not be. I don't know.
Yeah, anyway, that is Glenn Rice Jr.
From Georgia Tech. But anyway.
Yeah.
I don't think there's many other guys deeper down. No. The Pistons also did take Peyton Siva that draft.
Oh, Peyton Siva from Louisville. I remember that, man. He stayed on the team for like 1 year and then just dipped.
I want to say 14 was Stanley Johnson.
But the fact that I'm saying is that Detroit sports cannot, for some reason, we are just hated on when it comes to winning. We just can't win. And it's not that we have bad teams. Like this year's Lions team, everyone has faith in us for some reason. I have faith in us. I don't make me seem Matthew Stafford's the best QB in that division, better than shitty Kirk. I'll say that with my heart every day. I'll wear that on my chest. Matthew Stafford's he's better in the clutch time, as long as the refs don't screw him over. But Detroit just, I don't know, especially in football, and I guess I'm more passionate about that because I'm more into football, but we just get screwed over by the refs, I know. Baseball, we've gotten just unlucky, I feel.
I want to mention, though, what the Pistons saying, looking at the 2014 draft, yeah, they passed on Jokic. Probably had no idea who he was.
And again, they had Drummond.
Jordan Clarkson be decent. But the guy that they did take, because they didn't have a first-round pick, the second-round pick,
Spencer Dinwiddie.
They made a good pick, but traded him away.
Just like I said.
So it's not a straight draft problem. That was a good pick.
No, that's what I'm saying. The fact is they don't know how to develop players either. It's the same with, I feel like, the Tigers.
Okay, and then 2015 was Stanley Johnson passing up Justice Winslow, Devin Booker, Oubre for what it's worth. Bobby Portis would have been better.
Yeah.
Never mind. Cedi Osman would have been better.
I think the 2015 draft was one of the worst drafts.
Montrezl Harrell was there.
But Montrezl Harrell didn't become relevant for like.
They
would have had to really honestly. It's not something the Pistons like to do. They would have had to really sit on Montrez if they wanted to. Because
him winning from Drummond though would have kind of went crazy.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
He probably would have been traded for Blake, to be honest with you.
But it's just frustrating being a Detroit fan because we put out good. I feel like we field good teams, and the thing with Detroit is the Detroit Pistons, sorry, that they need to make a decision. Do they want to rebuild or do they want to go all in? They always sit in
It seems like this new GM wants to go all in with whatever they have. I don't know what they have.
They're just going to be at the same standstill that they've been at and get the 8th seed.
Because he said he wants to keep D Rose and Blake. I mean, I guess maybe putting trust into Blake, but he wants to keep D Rose, probably assuming that they get a good pick and get a Cole Anthony or LaMelo to work with him.
And not Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony's too risky with his injury. But
I mean, if he's the best point guard available,
I guess
you take him.
Or trade down at that point. I would not take Cole Anthony at 3.
I had mentioned, by the way, if the Timberwolves, I mean, people are going to hate this. If the Timberwolves get a top 3 pick,
yeah,
I think it benefits them more if the Pistons would trade with them. And you
trade up.
Yeah, you trade up. Like, because I think they said that the Pistons, the lowest I think they could get was like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Maybe 7. So you trade up with a team like the Timberwolves or a few others. Even, well, I don't know about the Hawks,
so
but
the Pistons don't have picks. Don't bring that into a factor because we gave all of our picks to get Blake for 2 years.
You trade up and you can take hopefully LaMelo or Anthony Edwards or whatever, and you trade the pick and like package Luke Kennard.
Yeah.
Or somebody else, something like that. If I'm using the Timberwolves here, you do that. You get your guy at the top 3, and the Timberwolves still get Kennard and like Obi Toppin, who they want.
But see, I know they also want a shooting guard because they want Anthony Edwards because he can play that 3 and 4 spot. So I feel like they'll.
Yeah, he can play shooting guard. I mean, he can play 2 through 4 probably, or you can bring LaMelo in. You start him at shooting guard next to D Rose,
and that would benefit LaMelo very much. I feel.
He's just straight up shooting to start it off, and then he's learning from D Rose, and then when D Rose is gone, you let him take over the point guard.
Yeah, I mean,
and then you get like a defensive shooting guard in there next to him.
Yeah, and then you finally let Sekou Doumbia start at small forward, and not throw him at power forward, and when he's undersized at like 6'7".
Because you got LaMelo, whoever at shooting guard, Sekou. Blake probably still there.
No, I mean at this point Christian Wood, they're really high on him too.
But I was gonna say, but you put Blake at power forward and Christian Wood at center because they like Christian Wood at center.
Yeah, or you get a center.
I was gonna say whoever at center, but really they don't have anybody at center that can play besides Christian Wood.
They're definitely bringing. They're gonna try and get a center in free agency this year.
It could, but I mean either way,
bring back Boban.
Either way, no matter what they do, I'm sure they won't get better.
No. They'll be an 8th seed unless they'll continue being an 8th seed until they finally decide they need to truly rebuild.
And the whole city of Detroit will be cursed still. Heck, the team above us was cursed until they got their savior. 2023, you get your savior.
Emoni Bates?
Yes. It's only fitting. Like it was mentioned, the Bulls got D Rose when they needed him. Hometown. The Cavs got LeBron when they needed him. Hometown.
Got him back when they needed him.
Yeah, got him back also when they needed him. Pistons get Emoni when they need him. Hometown. I think somebody else did that too. I mean, the Knicks needed Patrick Ewing, I guess. They said it was rigged for him, but man, whatever.
It was rigged for him. And then, I feel like the NHL draft is being rigged for Montreal so they can get that one guy.
At that point, you're wanting to probably get the Pistons a better market, especially like with them having Little Caesars Arena will still be relatively new, kind of.
I can't go through 3 more years.
I know. Well, I mean,
I need somebody. I need one of them to win a championship.
They're all grouped together, really, but
I need somebody to win a championship.
You waited this long. What's 3 more years? Actually, at that point, it's like 6 more years.
I know.
I mean, I'm just saying, you rig it. If you don't rig it, you at least tank. And if you can't get Emoni, tank again. Hey, get Bronny. I don't care. Commit to the tank.
I mean, at that point,
because at that point, Sekou's probably not been anything.
So we're tanking for Emoni. That means we'll have LaMelo and we'll still be tanking. I mean, he'll be on the last year.
They won't have a team around him, so yeah.
He'll be on the last year of his rookie contract.
It'll be like Trae Young.
Yeah, I guess.
They won't have a team around him.
No, they have a decent team around him. They're just young. They need to work together. They need to build together. So I mean, I don't know.
You pull up with LaMelo and Saku, you're not winning many games. I mean, LaMelo's gonna put up the stats, but you're not winning with Saku out there too.
I mean, unless he develops good, which from what I've heard is that he can't. That he has.
They
the
want him to be
potential.
Giannis.
Yeah.
Or at least a Walmart version of Giannis.
Yeah. I mean, I think that our most possible within the next, if we're saying 2 years before Emoni, our most possible chance of getting to a championship in any sport is the Tigers getting lucky this year and the Lions somehow.
You want to make a splash,
Yeah.
take on some money, but you want to make a splash in the East?
Mm-hmm.
They've been linked before. You go out, whatever picks you have, even package this year's pick into it,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe Kennard, and maybe like a future second round or so.
Okay.
You package all that together, you roll it up in a ball,
Mm-hmm.
and ship it off to Washington
For Bradley Beal.
and John Wall.
Jesus Christ.
They were packaged together before with the Pistons.
I remember that.
You're taking on a crap ton of money, sure, because you're still having Blake on the team.
No, you send Blake and
I know he'd probably get sent.
you
too.
send Blake and D Rose for the money because
I mean, D Rose doesn't have a big deal though.
decent, about 20 million. He made about 10 million a year.
I mean, because then you're bringing in it's John Wall comeback season, and then you have Beal.
But you'd have to send our top pick this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So that would be losing our chance at getting.
That's when you keep Blake probably. You send the pick, keep Blake. You're eating a lot of money.
No, this is what you do.
But Beal's still young. I saw he's still 26.
Yeah.
John Wall, yeah, he's got a monster deal. He's about to be 30, and Blake's in his probably like low 30s, but making cash. But
See what you do. You send Blake, D Rose, Kennard.
then you have a team around them.
No.
It's like the
No.
Wizards already.
No, Blake, D Rose, Kennard. Not this year's first round pick, but next year's, the year after that, and the year after that for Wall and Beal. You save this year, you get LaMelo, or you get Anthony Edwards.
and put him at the 3.
Yeah.
With Saku at 4 and Christian Wood at 5. Like,
Yeah,
you don't have a bench though.
But I
You
mean,
don't have
that's
money
when,
to
that's
buy
when you,
guys.
That's when you get guys at minimum contract that want to come because you're building somewhat of a team now. You're making initiative.
But then that's the whole thing. They're gonna be cursed even more. They trade all their picks. It's like the Nets to the Celtics, trading all your picks for hoping to at least be relevant, and then you pass up Emoni, you pass up Bronny.
Yeah, I guess. Or you trade up until that Emoni draft. You trade 2 first round picks
Yeah, you could.
up until that Emoni draft.
You'd have to. I mean, but that was just an interesting thing. They're saying John Wall could still get traded. I doubt anybody takes him coming off an injury. But I mean, I would if I'm the Pistons.
I mean, he's on comeback season, like you said. I feel like he's gonna be.
It's comeback John Wall. He could play right now if he wanted to with the Wizards, but he said nah.
Yeah.
Because people quickly forget John Wall was a top 3 guard in all of basketball when he was good.
Oh, without a doubt, he
He was the best in the East.
Yeah. I mean.
It was Steph, him, Kyrie, Kemba. I'll put Kemba right there because I guess some people would make an argument.
Maybe Steph, Kyrie, John.
Yeah, I mean, I was Kyrie with LeBron, yes.
Yeah.
Kyrie without LeBron, no.
Yeah.
John Wall's ahead of him.
But John Wall hasn't played since Kyrie hasn't been.
Yeah, I
with
know.
LeBron.
So I guess you could put Kyrie in front of him for as right now and the John Wall,
Yeah.
and then Kemba.
Yeah. I mean, and then Trey, and then Luca.
I'd put Luka up there above. I'd put
Steph,
Luka at 2.
I put Luca at 1. At this rate. I mean,
shoot, if we're talking about point guards, then LeBron's number 1.
he's still small forward technically.
I know, but
Because they always usually play a shooting guard out there to kind of take over that point guard spot. But I mean, it's just. I know I went off on that tangent, but it's just frustrating, and I feel like we've done this for 9 episodes, and I haven't gotten the chance to let out my anger about Detroit sports yet, and I felt like this was a better episode than any, since we were it was kind of a Michigan.
yeah, it's just a straight hometown favorite. It ain't opinionated.
Yeah, but I mean,
That's what has to happen before things start up, though. So it's
yeah,
fine.
with the Lions this year. A lot of people have said that. A lot of people are hyping them up, which scares me. I hate when the media starts hyping.
Don't
them
worry, if they win their first night, it'll be Super Bowl bound.
Yeah, I know, which I hate that. I hate when the media hypes up the Lions because I'm like, just leave us be. Let us quietly win games. Like, let us win just in silence. But then when we get to the playoffs, hype us up a little bit, and then we win the Super Bowl, then just go crazy, and we're gonna have the Detroit Riots Part 2. And
You end up at Ford Field, right, for it?
what do you mean?
Well, I guess the Super Bowl wouldn't actually be in Detroit. But...
Oh, I would go to wherever I would fork up my life savings for one ticket.
and then see them get blasted by 40.
Yeah, I don't care. I would save up I would post my life savings to go to. I think any Detroit Lions fan can say that they would put up their life savings to see the Lions win it just one. Just one time. Just one time. Just one time. I know I have so much more time to live in my life, but I've lived 20 years already, and I just need one. I need one. I just want to stick it to Vikings, Packers, and Bears fans.
I mean,
and just rub it in their face.
That's probably part of it too. In our lifetime, no team from this state has won anything. But I mean, besides maybe Michigan State, I think might have won it early on. But like, out of all the teams that we like and everything, I mean, I guess if you want to count the Red Wings, sure. But again, we don't care about hockey. Tigers haven't won a World Series since 1984.
Oh, you're right.
Michigan hasn't won.
I mean, you can say the Pistons, but they won it in 03.
Well, no?
03,
I guess
04.
I don't want to sound dumb, but didn't Michigan football like win it? Maybe early on.
I think they won it in the early 2000s.
So maybe, but I mean, we would have been.
Yeah. Like I said, like the Detroit one. I mean, we were still young. It was 03, 04. Right? We were only 3 and 4 years old.
Oh yeah, besides the Pistons, yeah, I forgot about that.
But still, in our, let's say from 05 on, no team has really done good. I mean, the Tigers have made it.
I was gonna say the Tigers have been the closest.
They've made it to the World Series. I mean, Pistons made it to the conference championship a couple times. Then they started meeting LeBron.
And didn't they get run up by the Pacers before LeBron?
Yeah. So I mean, it's just frustrating because in 15, I know people have lived 50 years and haven't seen a Detroit sports team successful. Like the last time Detroit sports have been successful was the 90s when you had Barry Sanders and you had the Bad Boys, but then even the Bad Boys fell apart. Like, it was just,
yeah,
I don't know,
they got run up.
Yeah,
run out of town.
That's all I gotta say, or I could just keep going on about how they frustrate me. So you got anything else to say?
No, I'm just looking forward to spring training V2 to start.
Yeah, me too. I don't know if it's spring training. I guess they're not playing against other teams, but that's gonna be, yeah, we're excited to watch that. So I think next episode 10, I have it confirmed.
Big episode.
I have it confirmed. We're gonna have
our first guest.
I think we should leave it at that. It's not gonna be in studio, but we're gonna have a call in. So
one of our favorite topics.
Yeah, one of our favorite topics that we can
leave it at.
Yeah. So we're gonna have them on next Wednesday. So I think that's all we got. Got anything else to say?
Nope.
Hope everybody has a good weekend this weekend with 4th of July. Well, we're gonna obviously be able to say it again on Friday, but have a good, safe weekend. And I think that's all we got for you. So see you on Friday for the Buds podcast. Saturday we're not gonna be on that, but Saturday from Nick and Joe's Film Room, and then next Wednesday for A&M. See you guys next time, and Bronny, take it away.
Yo, shout out Andrew and more, bro.